black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Peace. What's up, people? It's your brother, Mr. Holipsism, coming to you on a Sunday afternoon. And once again, I'm by myself. Anyway, the subject of the live stream today is black folks want to sit this one out with brown folks? Interesting. Why are they acting like this is any different than what they do with black folks? Black folks have been on some sit this one out with land and infrastructure and nationhood, as well as supporting their own black bank and just about anything involving solutions. The real question is, when are black folks going to stand up and get involved with anything that works in our interest? So that's the basic premise of the show, of the live stream. What's up, Michael McGarry? I really would like somebody to join me on the live stream. I do not like being on here by myself. So if one of the people that I sent this link to would kindly join me, I would greatly appreciate it. But in the meantime, I don't want to get into the whole black and brown coalition thing because to me that's irrelevant to my point. What I'm attacking is this presupposition that black folks are involved in anything. All the people who want to make this separation between themselves and brown people, themselves and immigrants, themselves and tethers and all this other bullshit, they want to give the impression that they're involved in something else. We don't want to associate with these groups because, they're not pure foundational black Americans. So what else are you doing? I mean, I'm serious. This is a serious question. Thank you, Mike. How you doing?
Yes, you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Maybe you can answer that question for me. Like, what are these foundational black Americans and American descendants of slaves? And we was here first. We the real Native Americans. What are they actually doing since they don't want to be associated with all of these other groups and they just sitting it out? So what are they actually doing?
It's really mind-boggling. Like, one minute you're trying to like take over other people's culture. You want to be more Jew than the Jews. You want to be more Indian than the Indians, right? Whether they be dot or feather. You want to claim. Sometimes they want to claim they're Latino or they're not. Like, I don't even know where they're going with it. It's really puzzling. Like, for example, so if Malcolm X was still alive today, he was trying to create a movie. You gonna sit that one out too, because he's a tether. Like it's at that point, it's like watching some like a homeless person yelling at himself. You just gotta move past it.
Yeah, a homeless person yelling at themselves with feces in their pants. You know, brown folks, if you're listening to this live stream, Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Don't look at it as a personal affront. Because black folks have been sitting it out on black folks. So welcome to the club. What have we been trying to push, Mike, for the past few months? And we're not even do it right here, people. We're nationalists. We're thinking about what's going on in Liberia, on the continent. But what have we been for the past few
One,
months?
it's One United Bank.
Yeah, the black bank here in America. How come FBA and ADOS ain't pushing it? I thought they was doing it right here. Oh, that's right. They sitting this one out too. As a matter of fact, that's all they do is sit this one out. Give me some examples of them standing up and actually doing something. That's an actual solution to the collective problem. And now you want to take us. Yo, these people trying to take advantage of us.
Have like basically you have like a financial institution. Like if you know how like Bitcoin was at what 5,000 back in like a few years
I
ago.
remember when it was. I remember when it was $1.
Oh, you have this institution where it's struggling, but if you get in on it and you I don't know, like there's like a lot of quote unquote entrepreneurs, business people, you would think they would try to find a way to like galvanize other black people with money to like, invest in it, be board members or something like that to see if they could do something about it, but they're not. You barely hear anything about it.
Yeah, like if you everything is already in place. What do they say? You don't have to redo the wheel or rebuild the wheel. Everything is in place. What are you actually doing? And of course, we never get an answer to that. I
That's
noticed that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no. I'm not saying anything.
I noticed that whenever we do something about a topic that's actually relevant, it never gets any um interaction,
Play, yeah.
engagement. Yeah, that's the word. Engagement. It doesn't really get engagement. But if we do something about something that's irrelevant or just trivial, it gets lots of engagement. I think this is more one of those relevant topics. When are black folks going to stand up for something instead of just sitting shit out? If you want to sit shit out with the Browns, I don't care. I'm agnostic to that. But my thing is, when are you going to stand up for something that involves your own interest? For the life of me, son, I do not understand why they don't want to support One United Bank. I'm really struggling to understand why FBA and ADOS are not shouting this shit from the mountaintops. And when I ask these questions, all I get is crickets.
I think
No,
what it is, people are just PC emotion. What I think it is that uh, everyone, especially in America, has a fantasy. No, I'm not. Well, I said it before in the on the Discord. Like the closer you are to the United States, the more Western like you are. Say for some people like us who kind of like stand out and go against the grain,
Mm-hmm.
that everyone just feels like they have to get they're more westernized than African, and it's like everyone has this fantasy in their head where like they are going to be the landlords or the petty lord with that one little square lot of land that's not really theirs to begin with. They're the lord of that. They're the kings of that, and you can't tell them shit. Everyone is a businessman. Everyone's an entrepreneur. One really works. Everyone thinks they're that nigga.
Peace to Dawood in the chat. Peace to Chima.
Happy Father's
Day. Today is Father's Day?
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I didn't know that. So is the white man gonna get a card from us?
Can I address what you have mentioned? Good afternoon, good morning, y'all. Can I address what you mentioned about why they're not pressing the bank? So I was on a group call on something else, and I mentioned the black bank, and the brother who's the FBA brother, he started talking about how like, yeah, no, FBA's in the middle of having our own bank and all this, and 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 one of the issues that we always find ourselves dealing with is that we all think that we're the chief. We all think that we have the answer. We all think that no, we got the answer. We got to do it this way. So whatever's already being done is not good enough for us. Instead of trying to actually support what's already here, that's already in the system, where we could like work within the actual system and have it our way. It's like, nah, we need something that's just
Well, wait a minute.
that's all it is, really.
So they're saying that the One United Bank is not a black bank?
Oh yeah, no, that's still a part of the white people system. No, literally, I actually talked to somebody like that, and that's their stalling tactic when it comes to the black bank. Never mind when I say, but where's your money at now? Everything goes silent. Never mind that. We're not gonna have common sense. We're not gonna do that part. We're just gonna talk about what we can't do. It's always that. It's always we're not gonna talk about common sense. We're not gonna talk about the evidence that's in front of our face. Act up.
Yo, son, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Emoja? Hello?
His mic went out a little bit.
I was gonna ask him something.
I was gonna say,
actually,
let me take this one out. Like, they talk about it's within like the white man's system or what have you. But you're in America. Are you going to put yourself in a new payment system within America? You think the U.S. or the West is going to allow that shit? If this is a problem for you, right? Then the best bet is to move out of America, maybe go to Africa and set up a different payment system there. So it doesn't have to go to New York, and where you can be sanctioned and like have your funds, in danger of being like confiscated, like what happened to Russia. So never mind.
Is there a Oh damn! Hold on. Let me bring my brothers in. Happy Father's Day to the white man.
Something wrong with you, big bro. So stupid.
Hey, might as well, right? That's daddy. Daddy's taking care of the house. Damn, everybody getting knocked off? What's going on?
Some people's mics is off.
I'm still here.
Oh, what's up, Dawood?
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm not going to say Happy Father's Day to the white man, but what's up? Fuck that. I work too hard and pay too much money to give him credit for that shit.
Well, that's not for you. That's for my FBA and ADOS brothers.
That shit is really getting on my nerves, man. I thought it would die in a couple of years, but it hasn't. It's really getting on my nerves. But I want
Yeah.
to chime in on something that y'all was saying earlier as I go pick up my
Hmm.
younger mamas and have a going to the Father's Day celebration or whatever. One and this speaks to the point that Emoji was making earlier. One of the things that I do know is that everything is a goddamn competition with us. So it's like, all right, well, we want you to try to join One United Bank. Oh, no, 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 no. We have our own bank we getting ready to do. And every
Getting
time I turn
ready.
around, you know what I'm saying? And it's like every time I turn around, it's like, no, no, what we're doing over here is going to be better and it's going to be unique. And
Uh-oh. He's breaking up.
say what? You said I was
Your
breaking up?
voice was breaking up. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
I was
you
leaving.
cut off after you said unique.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, good brother. What I'm saying is that it all feeds into personality. When you say, "No, I'm not going to join that," we're in the process of doing our own thing because people want to get credit instead of, for instance, like we want to create our own nation here in America instead of getting behind the efforts of building one in Liberia, or excuse me, like joining with Liberia. We want our name on it and we want credit. That seems to be the theme, the persistent theme in the black movement over all of these years. And so for me, when I think about this whole sit this out thing, and they always telling you to sit it out, it's to me it's a more of a function of the new wave of what revolution is. Because in our day, you had to get your hands dirty and you had to actually do something to be a part of it for somebody to even respect your name. But nowadays you can just take a name, jump on social media, drop a little bit of knowledge, and you certified. So the reality of it to me is sitting out, really the whole movement is sitting it out. Because if you know what I'm saying? Because in reality, nobody's really trying to get their hands dirty. But like I said when I first started it, this FBA shit is really getting on my nerves because it's more and more prevalent than I ever thought it would be. And now they have influencers that don't care nothing about the movement using that. Like I remember Kevin
Hmm.
Samuels used to say, "Well, are you dating an Adolf black woman?" I'd be like, "Who taught you to talk like that? Who who
Hmm.
even who even told you to identify us like that?" That came from Yvette Carnell. So
Yeah.
it to me, we gotta. I think we have another couple of years of bullshit before the next generation kind of figures out that you can't just do it the way y'all been doing it. You actually have to get involved and get dirty. And here's the thing: I'm not crapping on the younger generation because I have 5 children from the young generation, but I just got to keep it a buck. Most times, as a man that works hard and is not afraid to work long hours, I usually lap all the younger men because in this generation, it's really not about participation. It's about what can I get out of it, not what can I put into it. What can I get out of it? So we will always sit things out. Really, always.
Oh, why do they try to cut him off when he's cooking? That is so whack. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. I think is he traveling? If he's
Yeah,
in
he
like
might.
yeah, if he's moving around, then yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
dropped off.
yeah.
Oh, I know what I wanted to. I wanted to tell Yamoja because he was talking about when people say they challenge the One United. Um, he always responds with, "Well, where's your money at?" And that came from me. And I just want to say that I may not be a billionaire. I may not be like, have all of these skills and tech. But one thing that I'm really good at, and I've been good at it since my probably my teens, I know how to ask the right questions. Because if you're going to get answers, you got to ask the right questions to elicit the type of answers that you really want. And I'm good at that.
You are. And that did come exactly from I don't know if you remember this is a true story, y'all. I came across some Hebrew Israelites in my city, which was strange. And I got out and listened to them, and they talking about that, the Old Testament Bible stuff. And I was just like, well, what we do, what when we gonna do something that's effective? Like y'all should be telling all these people to bank black. And he started going off in terms of, oh no, we're in captivity. We're in captivity because of the Bible. We're in captivity, and I'm like, bro. but we can get out. There's things that we can do like to get out. And he's like, but if you read the Bible, and I'm like, I know I understand your Bible, but what about like putting our money together so we can like fight with each other instead of against each other? And he started going off, well, we have the Hebrew Israelites, and I said, yeah, bro, but you like trying to lead everybody with this religious stuff when we're not, a monolith. We don't all believe the same. Why don't we just go off of being black? Oh no, because the Bible says, and it's like these dudes. And then one of them started talking about the bank stuff, and I looked at all of them and I pointed one at a time. Where's your money? Where's your money? Where's your money? Where's your? Everybody went silent. So it's like
Yep.
these dudes are really, really, really don't even believe their own shit, right? And when you, like you said, ask the right question, you'll get to the crux of it, nigga. You just a bitch, and you just want to do this because it makes you feel important. You don't want to see us win. You just want to feel
Yeah.
So what did he
important. You don't
say?
want to
We
see us win.
captured? Did he say we captured or something? What was that word?
Yeah, no, we're in captivity.
We're in
They believe
captivity.
that we're still
Captivity.
in captivity. We're still in
So
captivity,
you
so we're ordained. No, they believe that we're ordained by God to go through this. How are you supposed to win
Oh.
when God ordained you to be a loser? How?
so you mean they so you mean they don't have the ability to buy a plane ticket?
None of
the
it.
ability to have a passport.
They can't drive nowhere.
You have all ability until it's time to pull yourself up. That's when the ability ends. When it's time for us to pull each other up, the ability ends. But we can manifest everything. We can manifest relationships. We can manifest jobs. We can manifest any reality that we want, except for us doing something as a nation.
I love how
So
you
I'm
did that
guessing
video, brother.
Which
The
one?
emoji. The one about Africans enslaved us or sold us into slavery.
Word, that was dope.
Yeah, because we like to hold on to that, but it's like, bro, but we live with our captors. We marry them, we love them, we work for them. We don't mind that at all. And I like that you gave me the new word though, xenophiles. That's like that's us, bro. We love everything that's outside of us, and when somebody outside of us is acting like us, we love that too. Like, look at them, they coming to the cookout. But when it's time to
Yep.
say, y'all, fuck them, let's look at us and let's just do us, we just go literally crazy. How you say? I was
Yo,
just talking to my woman how Dawood broke down that we have these internal algorithms, and when we hear certain trigger words, our algorithm goes to a certain place. Like, oh, this that black shit. Oh, this that hotep shit. Oh, we can't do it. Oh, the white man is God. Like our algorithms are just screwed.
Word.
yo, can I say something about the cookout?
Sure.
Can y'all not invite me to the cookout? Like I want to resend my invitation. Is that cool? Go ahead, brother.
Listen, y'all, I gotta bounce on. My daughters is waiting on me. Um,
Mhm.
much love to all the fathers and non-fathers here, and what's called? I think. Well, let me just say this before I go, because I got cut off saying it. I was talking to my middle daughter the other day, and she just graduated college, so she's not. She does. You graduate college, you don't get a great job coming straight fresh out of college. So she's working at this one place, and she said to me, she said, "Dad, I don't think I want to work here no more because this place doesn't serve me." That's kind of the mentality that you deal in nowadays, bro. The
Mhm.
mentality is I'm looking for something that serves me. And there is some truth to that. But at the same time, to get something to serve you, you must serve it first. That's just the way the universe works. And I don't
Right.
know if that changed in the last couple of years, but that's just the way it works. Anything that I have got something out of, I had to pay long, hard dues to get something out of it. Now, all of a sudden, we want to jump that process and just be like, well, I want it to serve me now just because I'm me. Nobody owes us anything. Like you've said on many videos, Howard, nobody owes us anything. So for us to really get the power that we need, you know what I mean? Like we always talking about sitting something out because that serves that what's in it for me purpose. And to me, it's like that's one of the things that I try my hardest to deprogram my children with because they grew up under me and they heard this message, but it's so hard for you to continue to reinforce these messages with your offspring when they have a bombardment of all different social media tell them that they're special and they should be getting something without any work,
Yep.
without any time put in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you raise them on that. You raise them on and they watch you put time in. And then they get older and somebody tells them something else, and all of a sudden they lose their mind. They forget exactly what you Taught them.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that what y'all do and what we do on Sunday is so important, because it's a reinforcing. Because if we don't reinforce this message, a couple of years down the line, they'll forget about us.
Mm-hmm.
They'll forget about us. There will be so many new schools of thought that just make it easier for people to just sit shit out, that, you know what I'm saying, you constantly do need a reminder. And all of these other ideologies that are dying, such as, I'm not even going to pick a single one from the conscious community, but damn, I can't believe in my heart of hearts that y'all still holding on to this shit this late in the game, because it ain't serving nobody and it ain't helping
Right.
nobody. You know what I'm saying? And the reality of it is that so many black men thought that they were coming together for economic power and influence in America by voting for Trump. And now you see that nigga don't care about nobody. He don't care. We all knew that, but he don't care about nobody but himself. So what empowerment did you actually get? I don't know, man. Like I said before, this FBA, you don't really hear ADOS that much anymore, but you definitely hear FBA. This shit is bothering me because I thought that it was going to die by now, and it's still around. Oh, look, this is my children. I got
You
to
know.
bounce, y'all.
All right. Thank you,
Peace.
bro.
Peace.
Just to build on what he said, my question to FBA is, um, Israel just started an offensive war with Iran, and your country is getting ready to back Israel. How you feel about that? Like, why? What do you have any control over that? Like, what your president does, what your country does, what your government does? Because this is yours, right?
This is like quote unquote like sovereignty is called into question because you got all these politicians and lawmakers and executives within the political class are more loyal to a foreign nation than they are to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that tell you?
Money talks, and bullshit walks.
Mm.
But here's the funny part: we have money. I know that the popular thing is, oh, we ain't black folks ain't got no money. We got money. We got money. We got money for the shit that we want to spend it on. Ask Louis Vuitton if black folks have money or not. Ask Prada if black folks have money or not. Ask Balenciago, do black folks have money or not? Ask Chris Brown, do black folks have money or not? Ask Beyonce, do black folks have money or not? It's funny how we have money for all of these things, but when it comes down to like something like the Liberia Leadership Academy, putting your money in the One United Bank, anything that benefits us collectively, all of a sudden, we don't have no money. And it doesn't require $1,200 or $500 for a ticket to sit in the nosebleed section. $30, $1 a day for the month. $30. Start a black bank account. Put $30 in it each month. $1 a day. But for some reason, the thought of doing that is just not possible. It's not feasible. But if Chris Brown asks you for $1,200, he's getting paid, and he's asking you to pay him so that you can so that you can have the honor of being in a picture with him. Think of how crazy that is. How many millions of dollars is this dude making? But you paying him.
It's like he's having girls pay him to give him a lap dance.
Yeah, it's like going to the street.
Cupping whole asses, getting twerked on, getting whole $10
Yeah,
dances and shit.
it's like the strippers paying the John to dance on his
Mm-hmm.
lap.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you the money so I can dance on your lap. Man, I don't get it. I don't get it. Who's Phil? Phil calling his channel that name is a joke. I'm glad I left that channel years ago. Who's Oh, wait a minute. Are they talking about Phil? That guy had the channel called Advise or something? Is that who you're talking about in the chat? Peace the Fly Guy, by the way.
I think it's Phil from the African Diaspora channel.
Oh, okay, the
That's
same guy. It used to be called Advise, and then she changed it to the African something, and now I don't know what it is. Is it
yeah.
FBA now?
I don't know. He's always calling referring to white people as them folk.
He's a militant integrationist, or is he a militant integrationist? Or he's a Black Power American. I know who you're talking about. He's the one that comes out with these special bulletins about um black people getting called niggers and all this other stuff. Like he gives us blow by blow descriptions of acts of racism that we experience here in America. Oh, a white lady called a black person a nigger.
Not true, man. I really don't give a fuck about that shit no more.
Yeah, it's rage bait. I don't care about rage bait. I put the link in the chat room if anybody wants to talk. If anybody wants to call in, give their thoughts. Because as y'all know, I hate the sound of my voice. Unlike some people who love the sound of their voice, I hate the sound of my voice. I would much rather hear you guys speak. Fly Guy said he has a whole bunch of channels now that post the same crap. Well, I mean,
People, when you talk about sitting it out, and even people posting the same crap, we all like the path of least resistance. We all like the path of least resistance, but more importantly, all humans, for the most part, do exactly and absolutely what the fuck we want. Like the only things we do outside of our comfortability is the things for survival. Like if you have to have a job that you really don't like, but they paying you well, you know what I mean? Or you're going to school to do something and the classes are boring or whatever. You're doing that shit for a reason, right? So when it comes
mhm.
to adult Black Americans, we're all living the lives that we want to by and large, right? Aside from the people who are so where they literally wake up like
I swear YouTube is pissing me the fuck off, man. Every
And
time I
anybody who's on the train of thought, it is
waking up, taking care of their
stops
kids,
them.
blah, 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 looking at the news, they're seeing what's going on. We've all made a decision by and large that we are okay with the system and how it's working. We understand the system enough to try to work our way through it to get a job, get some money, and try not to die. And that's enough for some of us. Whenever some injustice come in, what happens, bro? We go back to that. No, it's supposed to be this way. We're supposed to be second and third class citizens. Of course, black people and white people are treated different. Of course, black people are Mexican, right? It's just normal. We'll talk about it. We'll debate it. We'll write about it. We'll go to Capitol. We'll go to the Capitals about it. We'll go to the Senate floors about it. But when it comes down to us doing something, like what can we do? Like at least in a chunk of a group, because it's fine to have something locally. It's fine to have some, but why aren't the things that are doing everything locally? Why aren't they coming together? Like for instance, seriously, when you look up like Black National Institutes or Black National Organizations in Google or wherever, what will come up is the list of all of the black, like the National Black Institute of Doctors, oh, the National Institution of Physicians, the National Institution of Black Archer. You will have so many things come up. And then if you click on them individual things, you'll see that there's actually there is no tentacles. There is no one organizing us. We are so disorganized, and the things that are organized for us is literally organized for us, not by us. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, there's no census. No one is doing a census for us. No black people are doing a black census. All those numbers, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Where do we get those numbers for that spending power? Who's telling us about that 1.6, 1.7, and growing $1 trillion, $1 billion spending power that we have in America? Who's counting that money? You know where it comes from, y'all? The Nielsen report. Do y'all know who Do y'all know who the Nielsen people is? Are y'all following what I'm saying?
Yep.
And this is one of the biggest issues of the white man got it, big bro. Every time you say the white man got it, like we said flippantly and jokingly, and we point to small things, but that Nielsen report type shit, that the census type shit, actual hardcore data type shit, we letting everybody else do that for us. And that's the biggest problem. Right there. We don't even know our numbers. In cities like where I'm at, we so spread out. There's no black community. There's literally no neighborhood where you can go and there's just black people posted in numbers. Anywhere in this city. And that's
Yo,
a fact.
Yamoji.
And it's like that across America. Go ahead. I'll pause y'all. But we got problems. We got big problems. And it seems like it's only a couple people interested in solving them. And even those people seem like we don't want to get together like right now and get this shit done.
Yo, Yamoji.
Sir, I'm on mute. Go ahead.
What do you feel about the gift that we got the white man for Father's Day? How
I
you
didn't know
feel about it?
I didn't see it. What did we give him?
We gave him $2 trillion.
Just like that.
What do you think
Small
about that,
correction.
Mike? That's better than a tie
Yeah, but
or
I got a
a
small,
pair of socks.
just a small correction, right? It's not Father's Day, it's Zaddy's Day.
Oh, sorry. My
Yeah,
bad.
you gotta make it correct.
See,
They love
this
they
why I
love
don't talk to
giving their
y'all.
daddy, yeah, they love giving their daddy some cute nicknames, you know. They wanna
This why I
like
don't talk to y'all.
What do you say, Emoji?
I said, this why I don't talk to y'all. Y'all so damn ignorant. Sit this one out. You right though, bro. You do be coming with them quick though. Sit this one out. You said, whoa, shit, like you been sitting all the rest of them out, huh?
oh man.
Yeah. It's like only so much. Like people will notice, like we could be on a live stream, and our streams could have moments of silence because we ain't just talking about some stupid shit and everybody arguing about each other, and we start talking about boats. No, nigga, it wasn't the Armistice. It was the yellow button boat where they came off, and it was on the island of Virginia. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. We really from Brazil. If you look in Brazil right now, it's 40-something million of us. Just no. In Japan before everything, like everything, everywhere you go, it's melanated people, and we need to realize that even in Australia, it's melanated people. They got melanated. Nah, bro, we come from the Nile River. Yes, we was the first people. This is the shit that you will literally hear on live streams in 2025, y'all. Still, and when some brothers come talk about some shit that makes sense, like, hey, y'all, what about we look at our finances and like learn financial literacy as a people? Why don't we just start by putting $25 in the bank and letting it sit and pass it a fuck along and seeing what happens? Just seeing what happens. Is $25 gonna kill you? Everybody listening to me right now, is $25 you're gonna starve? If it is, you should not be sitting on your ass listening to us right now. You should be grinding. If you sitting up down here listening to us right now, you have $25 somewhere right now. Go to One United Bank online, transfer that shit from your other bank account, and just let it fucking sit. And pass it along and say, look what I did, man. Look what I did. And in 30 days, let's go back and look and check with One United Bank. 60 days, let's go back and check. And in a year, let's fucking check and look what the bank doing. How about that, y'all? Because I would talk about how the other banks have Literally billions of dollars more than we do in assets. Billions of dollars more. Yet we will sit here and boast about our spending power. We will sit here and boast that we built this place. We will boast that we built America, the United States of America. We will boast as a people that we built it. And then when anybody from not the United States say, interesting, where's your infrastructure? And show me your banks and show me your assets and show me what you people are doing in the country you built, we can do nothing but look at each other and talk about some moral shit. Well, our people been fighting for this long, and our people been dying for this and this long, and everybody will look at us like we're fucking retarded, like we're children, and they will nod their heads and they will understand exactly why we're in the position that we're in because we act like fucking children. Sorry, y'all don't want to hear this content, but I promise you we need to hear this content. I promise you we need this shit in our spirits. Have a good day, niggas.
Don't you go nowhere. Don't you dare go nowhere.
I'm about to go in the gym and work out, but I'm still listening. Sick of these niggas,
All
man.
right.
They sorry, bro. I'm
I,
I'm on no. I'm just walking into the gym.
I feel you. I feel you. Thank you for that. I'm thankful that YouTube let you rant. Come on, Mike. I know you got a rant in you.
Exhausted, man.
Get it out.
They drained me, man. They drained me. This is so many
Mike,
elements.
Before you start, Mike, when you said they drained me, it literally felt like I'm an old player, man, a young player, and I'm going around just nasty, just box full of condoms in my at my house, and I'm just calling them in. And I'm literally there looking at this bad broad and I'm bored. Like, man, these bitches just drain me, bro. Like, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? Like when you said, man, they drain me, I felt you so bad. And I could just equate it to something like that, where you just have, even if it's one girl and y'all really in love and having sex and sex and sex, you look at her and be like, bro, I'm drained. That was like 4 times, yo. Let's go to sleep. For real. It's really draining sometimes and tiring. Straight up. Go ahead, cook,
Yeah,
Mike.
black people are, they black people a lot, man. Like it's like I remember I was watching NHK, right? It's like this Japanese news service, and they do like special reports on like different things happening in like Japan.
Mhm.
And there was this Nigerian dude who opened up a shop in Japan and saying like he just wants to, like, yo, why do you open up a business in Japan? Like what was the reason? He's like, I just want to, feed the children because I just care about them. I'm like, and the Japanese people are like, yo, you've got your own country right now that you could be feeding. Like you could open up the business over there. Why are you doing that this year? We don't really need you like that. Your people need you. No answer. Right? You can get a conclusive answer.
That's usually
I,
when you
I
ask the right questions.
yeah. And this is coming from Japanese people. Like you got like this is like a few months ago. This is when like the beef between like Dominicans and like Asians was like heavy, right? Relatively
Mhm.
heavy. And you got these chicks complaining about how like they go on these Dominican lives and like they start crying about how they can't get along and how they're facing racism. I'm like, yo, I come in, I'm like, yo, there's a BAIO website, right? Where we can like gather all the sisters, y'all can congregate, talk honestly with each other, not deal with any problems of like racism, people like humiliating you. And I get hostility. I'm like, oh, okay, so
Mhm.
you'd rather deal with fucking Dominicans being racist to your ass than go to a black platform and congregate and talk amongst yourselves safely. I said, bitch, kick rocks. I could give a fuck. I just dipped. Like
I
it's
know.
to the
I
point.
don't
Like,
blame you.
it's to the point right now. Like I'm not gonna be proselytizing to people. If you really feel like it, if you really down with the cause and it's saying like you want to change something, then fuck it.
Yeah. The way that I look at things, like this whole black and brown situation, I'm not even approaching it from the perspective that most people are. Because most people, if you listen to these podcasts, they're coming from the angle of, well, every time we fight for other people, they never fight for us, and da da da, and all of this stuff, and that all has legitimacy to it. I'm not downplaying it. It is what it is. But my thing is, y'all don't even stand up for black and black coalitions. You don't stand up for anything. You sit down for everything.
Yeah, they're trolling for pity. That's what it is. And they'll fight to be included. This is a xenophilia talking point, right? They fight to be included amongst other people than to be included amongst themselves.
Right. Right. They love that acceptance. They love that pat on the head. They love it when they can connect with anybody outside of their own group. Peace, Joe.
Peace. Y'all can go to the YouTube search and type in the name of the town is Sand Branch. It's around Dallas, Texas area. You can type in something like Dallas town with no running water. It'll be a bunch of different channels that bring it up. On the point of y'all ain't even got a black and black coalition or just black. You don't even have a black coalition. This town been around for 142 years. It's a black town. And it's never had running water in its whole run. And you won't hear none of these folks that's always collecting money online, always got some kind of fund drive going on for the next documentary, for the next idea for an app, whatever. You never hear them doing anything to try to get something like this going for this town.
What's the name of the town?
Sand Branch. SANDBRANCH. It'll come up even if you put Dallas town with no running water.
See it. So they could like in all those years they couldn't find nobody who could learn how to like set up infrastructure to give them running water.
This is in Texas.
Around Dallas. Black town.
Push for running water and
they couldn't set up a water tower.
Black and black coalition. They're missing in action.
So we don't hear. Let's put this onto the list of things that we don't support.
Like I said, imagine a paraplegic talking about, I'm going to sit this one out. 142 years.
You know, they expect me to stand up for them. I'm sitting this one out. Now, you really think you're saying something when you say that?
I see what you did, Joe.
I'm just saying. Yeah, it's got to be something sexy to it for them to want to go out there and do their thing. It's got to be something sexy to it. Got to be something glamorous about it.
Yeah, it's got to be a Beyonce concert or a Chris Brown photo shoot.
Something that gets a lot of press.
I just posted the link in the chat for those who want to see about Sand Branch. One developer's mission for water and justice.
Can you put it in the StreamYard chat too, please? One time.
Peace, Jabari.
Back one.
Hello, everyone. I know this is my first time being back in a couple weeks, but I'm here, y'all.
Hey, sorry to interrupt you, Jabari. So, Joe, is this Sand Branch by Seagoville? It's right near Texas, right? Like at least
it's around Dallas.
Southeast Texas. Sorry, Southeast Dallas, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So they are surrounded by water.
Oh shit! You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh to keep from crying, man. You got to laugh to keep from crying. You got running water and electricity for 24 hours in Dubai, which is a freaking desert. Yet you got countries in Africa that live right next to the shore, but for some reason can't get running water.
Like they got an interstate not too far from them. They got a whole river.
Yo,
Bro, you gotta
man.
be lying. You gotta be joking, right?
I'm
No,
standing
it's
right there.
deadly serious. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine. Hopefully he's listening. Peace and shout out to him. I've known him since I was a teenager. We had a conversation on the phone. And I asked him, I said, like, I did a video a while back called The White Man is Not the Devil. And he asked me, well, why did you say that? Like, what do you mean? And I said, well, if you really believe that the white man was the devil, would you let the devil control your water and your food supply? Would you let the devil control your education system? Would you sit on the operating table while the devil operates on you? Would you be comfortable living under the devil's infrastructure and in his society and just being a good old citizen of the devil's country? I'm calling bullshit. You don't believe the white man is the devil. You never did.
White
It
man
sounded
infiltrated.
good. It sounded good when y'all was rapping. Yeah, fuck these. It sounded really cool, but you never fucking believed it. Because if you really believed that the white man was a devil, guess what? You would act and move like it. It's like those people. This is an aside, but I think it's relevant. It's like those people who claim to be Christians, but they will cheat on their wives and their husbands, even though, according to their own Bible, that's a hellfire punishable event. You risk going to hell and suffering eternally if you cheat on your husband or your wife. But here's the kicker: hell is just theoretical to them. Dick and pussy is real. And when it comes to the choice between the real and tangible and concrete and some philosophical theoretical bullshit, guess which one you picking? I say that to say that you're full of shit. A lot of people try to say that they believe in this and you don't believe in a fucking thing except this white man. That's all you believe in. You believe in him with your heart and with your fucking soul. Because you're comfortable being underneath him. You'll never challenge him for power. You don't even want to create power for yourself. It's not even about challenging him. You don't even want power for yourself. That's how comfortable you are with the white man. Now come at me with something different. Show me to be a liar. You don't support Fan Branch. You don't support One United Bank. You don't have an educational system. You don't have a political party. There's nothing that you're doing in this country. Nothing that works in your own interest. And then when we suggest that you do it, we're not even do it right here, people. But when we suggest that you do it, all you do is give us pushback and give us heat. And then people want to be mad at your moja. Oh, I agree with what you're saying, brother. I just don't agree with how you're saying it. You get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. You got to check. Sometimes you know, Hollop, you're just too caustic with how you deliver a message. Why don't you try this way? Why don't you try adjusting your message so you know it could be more palatable? Man, fuck you. Fuck all of y'all niggas. How's that message? Did that message work
My
out
name,
for you?
my name is Emoji Ortega, and I approve of this message by my big brother Hollis.
Dude,
He's on soft
this
shoe.
is after we
He,
see multiple occurrences of people, like we see what a white chick just straight up scream nigger at a child in a stroller, right? And they want to complain about caustic.
I can't stand these soft shoe niggas. We need to turn them upside down and take all the sand out their pockets. What's up, Thomas?
Yo, what's the deal, son?
I'm good. Relatively.
Yeah, many years back, after a couple of times of hearing them say that they couldn't absorb the message because so and so cursed too much, and then you present him with somebody else, and it'll be that he be using too many big words, can't absorb the message. I'm like, okay, it's the message you got to follow with. There ain't anything else
Yeah.
around it.
When you don't want to do something, you will find any excuse not to. So it's
Mhm.
My
not our message that's the problem. The problem is you a pussy.
my the only thing I have to say before I think I'm only gonna be on here for a few is that it reminds me of this poster. I don't know if you saw it on social media. I don't know if y'all on Twitter on Blue Sky or that, but I saw a tweet from a protester. It was from It showed a picture of a protester, and the protester said, "Had we voted for Kamala, we would be at brunch." Now, there's two ways you can incorporate that. You can incorporate that as one, liberals, or you can say the feds. But in either case, it just is to me a representation of the sit it out. We're gonna sit this one out because the sit this one out people think that had they just voted for, let's say, Kamala, that a lot of the stuff that has already been built and established wouldn't be there. I mean, yes, we know she would have done a wrecking ball through the system, but she would have preserved the status quo, which is just an anti-black. And so when people tell, "Oh, we're gonna sit this one out," my reaction is always, "Y'all think y'all can sit this one out? Y'all can't sit this one out because you're not your own separate government or entity outside of America. You live in America. If they start rounding up all these illegals, right, and throwing them in El Salvador, right, the precedent that they're setting is okay. Once we're done with the illegals and the brown immigrants, we coming for your black behinds. And then what? Now what? You've been sitting around, you weren't organizing, you weren't doing anything. You just sat this one out. And then inevitably, when it comes to the black community and they start rounding us up, they start doing what they're doing. Now what you gonna say? What you gonna say? What
Well,
you
I
gonna
don't know
do?
what they're gonna do, Jabari, but I know what I'm gonna do. If anybody heard my piece called "I'm snuffing you in the concentration camp," you know exactly what I'm gonna be doing.
What what they're gonna say is black people are undeportable. Black Americans are undeportable.
Oh yeah, we we can't be discriminated against either. Did you know that?
Hmm.
We're
Seen
immune.
that.
We're like immune to that. We're immune to oppression, immune to racism. As a matter of fact, I guess we doing good here in America.
They
The
sending people to El Salvador that ain't from El Salvador, but we ain't deportable.
Right,
As the
right.
official tether here, there's a silver line to all this. Is if they deport me, that means I don't have to pay off any credit card and student loan debt. So kudos to me.
They were willing to let a U.S. citizen rot in a foreign prison that he's not from. What
Well, is
makes
he
you think they
white?
won't do that to you too?
Is he white?
Nope.
then he's not a U.S. citizen. Didn't you see Dragon, the Bruce Lee story? He said, "You're not an American. You're an American citizen."
Hey, I told y'all when I had came back from that cruise ship, they had us in a line. It's like one line is U.S. passport, the other line is U.S. birth certificate. So they're getting ready.
Oh yeah. Once again, I want to give a happy Father's Day to the white man. You
Remember,
know.
it's Zaddy's day.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. Damn. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mike.
yeah.
Happy Zaddy's Day to the white man. And I'm sure he's
Because
going to
that's
get
how.
more than a tie and some socks. You got to laugh to keep from crying, man. You got to laugh to keep from crying. We got all of these things that's right here. We have every aspect of what we need to be self sufficient, and we just refuse to do it because the white man got this. He got it. FBA and ADOS is totally comfortable with their President Trump and helping Israel. Totally comfortable with it.
Making it rain on Israel.
Oh, yeah. Iron Dome, motherfucker. Israel has a right to defend itself with our tax dollars.
They got a right to have universal health care with our tax dollars.
Yeah. They have a right to a defense system with our tax dollars. Just give them what they want, man. I'm sure they know what they're doing.
Got a whole foreign leader bitching you out and your own seat of government. Oh, that those
But
Epstein videos must be crazy.
I don't understand why they don't just release them because people only suffer for like a news cycle and then everybody forgets about it.
Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like the news is not there to enlighten us so that these people can be punished.
Yeah.
It's just there for clicks and views and ratings. So just release it. Who gives a damn who was at Epstein's Island? Do you think it's going to affect them? It'll affect them for a news cycle and then it'll be on to the next. Remember, everybody was up in arms about the breakdancing white lady? You don't hear about her anymore, right?
Hmm.
You don't hear nothing about her. It was an international embarrassment 1 second, and then once the news cycle finished, it was over. All you
Yeah,
got to do is just, it's like what do they call it in football? Where or in basketball where you run out the clock. That's what you have to do. When something bad drops about you that's embarrassing, just run out the clock, go through the news cycle, and then after the news cycle is over, back to normal. Because everybody forgets about it.
Yeah. I mean, actually, the more the more they do the news on it and whatnot, if they would, that would normalize it because that's what
Right.
happened. There's stuff
like
that
Right.
all these presidents do that's way worse. I mean, they committing genocide right now, and it's on the news every day, and nothing happens. It's illegal. Nothing happens.
Yeah, an offensive war against a country that did nothing to you, and it's just normal. Oh, we only bombing their nuclear facilities. My question is, do you have nuclear weapons?
Thank you.
Hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. You got so why aren't we bombing your nuclear facilities?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no fun when the rabbit get the gun.
Mm-hmm. And also, when you do to sit this one out, you make yourself vulnerable to attack. Because what does your enemy think? Oh, they're not gonna do nothing until they get to their doorstep. And by that time it's too late. You see, by the time we done rounded up and got rid of all the brown folks, okay, when you inevitably when they come after you, ostensibly, who you got left?
But
I
you know
mean, there
what,
gonna be
Jabari.
black
Jabari?
folks who can say you
You know
like
what,
you gonna be to
Jabari?
shut up
Let
or
me let
like
me Jabari, let me clarify something. It's not about I don't even care about what's happening with the Brown situation, to be honest. I'm
right.
just talking about me personally. My issue is
Mhm.
this. I get angry when I hear black folks say we gonna sit this one out because it gives the impression that you were standing up in the first fucking place.
Oh, okay, I
And
get that.
who was you standing up for? What were you fucking doing?
Hmm.
They talking about black brown coalition. They ain't no black coalition. We've been preaching from the mountaintops. Me and Yamoja and everybody in this group has been telling people get a black bank account. Open up an account with One United Bank. It's the largest black bank. Support that bank. There's 22 other black banks, but I say support One United because it's the largest. Consolidate your resources. Show that you can have assets as a people. Nope. Nada. Can't do it.
It, it comes down to the question of how long are we gonna let the spirit of distrust, how long are we gonna let the spirit of backbiting, how long are we gonna let the spirit of crabs in the bucket prevail over common sense? Like like how many times do we have to break down that 60 billion, 50 billion compared to 620 something million is a humongous difference. I'm talking about the Hispanic banks, the biggest Spanish bank, the biggest Asian bank compared to the biggest black bank. The assets are ridiculous, y'all. We look like clowns to walk around saying that we built a place and we won't invest in this bank. It doesn't make sense. So are we really saying that yes, we built this place for the white man? Because that's what it was.
Yep.
So amongst each other, we say we built this place. We built this place. When the last time somebody went in front of a white person and said, "Yo, we built this place"? Every time I've seen anybody on some Congress floor or at some town hall meeting talking about, "Yo, we're the last ancestors of whatever tragedy has happened in this midwestern or down south town, and we want some reparations." White people are looking at them like, "Are you done yet? So we can move along and get this off our agenda." Let me remind everybody the bill HB 12 something, I can't remember the numbers. That bill is not a reparations bill for black people. That bill is a bill to investigate reparations for black people,
I
y'all.
think it's
And that bill was
HB40.
30 some years old and counting, y'all. This is
Yeah,
not something new.
HB40.
Thank you. We let these people continue to play in our face, and we not just that, we play along. How many times are we gonna explain our oppression? How many times now, if we was doing what we supposed to do, that explanation would sound so much more clear. But black boys in America, the number one cause of their death is still gun violence, y'all. Since the early
Hmm.
90s. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? See, when we start looking at us, all we can do is say, but the white people is why we're like this. That is 100% right. Everybody clip this. The reason why black people are like this, if you have ever taken psychology 101, it is because of our history of abuse, our history of oppression, and our history of violence. That equals trauma. That has been passed down for generations. We spent centuries being abused by these people, and it's still happening. The only way for us to reverse it is by ourselves. Everyone knows it. I promise you, y'all, nobody cares except for a few of us in this special group. And until we treat this special group like we want some special interest, like, do y'all not read? Do y'all have y'all not taken any fucking school? Do y'all know what a special interest group is? Do y'all know what a lobby group is? Now, if you do understand this, ask yourself, why don't you care about black people having these things? For real though, not some housing authority lobby group, right?
But
Not no. Sorry, y'all. Go ahead,
no,
because I keep
I
on
was gonna
talking. Sorry, y'all. Let me
emphasize
let y'all
for
cook.
Moshe. The issue is, and it goes back to what I was talking about. The reason why I was bringing that up earlier is going in more in your direction. Is that it's the idea, and I posted this of red lines, following through with your red lines. That's what it is. Black folks do not have a. This is a red line, and if you cross it, we will never. But that's it. It's a point of no return. For example, businesses can. get rid of DEI or do anti-black policies. And black folks, for the most part, I mean, Target is one of the latest, unfortunately. At least that's one thing. But we don't have that red line where it's like, okay, that's it. You will never see our dollars again. You will never see us there. We will be going to our own. We'll be establishing this. That's it. We're done. You cross the red line. There's no coming back. That's it. We're done. Like, we don't have a proactive sense of standard and what our red lines are. Everything is so reactive. And we've always talked about it, when you are in a state of reaction, you're not you're not even strategizing. You're not organized. You're not doing anything. You're just reacting almost like almost like an animal.
You know, Emoji, we was talking about if you want the right answers, you got to ask the right question. But
Yes.
the people that's saying we built this is that position is so weak and flaccid. My question to you is, did the Mexicans that built your home have keys to your house?
No,
Do the construction workers have equity in the
no, they
property
didn't.
that they built? So what the fuck are you talking about?
What we do is hold on to the feeling that us construction workers, and I'm sure Jabari could identify with this as well. When you do create something and you do build it, every time I drive by a building that I helped build, I'll be like, oh yeah, I did do that. That's just cool. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
there is a sense of pride in what you built. However, the sense of pride that we take is simply because of, again, the history of abuse, the history of mistreatment, the history of violence. We take whatever victory that we can. And I really love how little bro Jabari broke down the red line that we don't have. You said it in several different ways too, bro. It's like you can let like we like what is it gonna take for us to do anything? Actually, you know, as a group, as an actual movement, that's just not some old peaceful turn the other cheek, we shall overcome movement.
I've been looking for a tipping point, and I don't think that there is one because I've seen some stories that are just heartbreaking stories, and I thought, wow, this has got to be it. This is the one. Nope, because it's
Can
like
everyone get?
misery porn at this point.
Can
What's
y'all
up,
hear me?
Chima?
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, for all the people who are like, let's sit this one out. This kind of reminds me of a quote from like a Lutheran pastor from.
Oh boy, they're doing it to us again.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, can you hear me again?
yeah, we can.
Yeah, it's like first they came out for the soul. Yeah, yeah. This this whole sit this one out reminds me of a quote from uh a Lutheran pastor from Nazi Germany. It went like this: first they came from the socialists, but I didn't speak out because I wasn't a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, but I didn't speak out because I wasn't a trade unionist. Then they came out for the Jews, but I didn't speak out because I wasn't a Jew. And when they finally came for me, there was no one left from there was no one left to speak up for me. Does anyone know that quote?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
I've heard that before. The only thing I would add is that that gives the impression that they haven't already been coming for us. It's like, are black
Yeah,
folks waiting for the system of white people to start coming for us?
they already
yeah,
do.
pretty much.
They've been they've been coming for us for about 500 years. So that's why this whole I'm gonna sit this one out don't make no fucking
Brother,
sense.
brother, I'm about to speak. I'm about to speak for the people that love to be trauma informed. It's because it's because that we know that we've been captured. And when you know something, it's like the man. I don't. Let me think of a different analogy because I always want to use like a sexual assault analogy because it's so on point. But let's say the person who's at war, right? And an actual gun battle is happens, and they get shell shocked. They like freeze up all their training, go out the window, and they seeing their partners die, but they make it out the war, right? And now, anytime it's some action that happens, anytime they feel an adrenaline rush, they have that PTSD reaction and they freeze, right? Like, I'm obviously talking about an extreme case, but this is how PTSD works, right? You hypervigilant, but I'm talking about the intrusive thoughts and being shell shocked, right? And this is, we are in a state of shell shock in our spirits, somewhere in our spirits. Whenever it talks about anything that's actual black power, our spirits literally go to, they will kill us. Black men in particular, literally, our spirit immediately goes to the worst thing. They will kill us. They will kill you if you do this. You will lose your job if you post this on your social media. You can't talk about these things at work. You can't say that because you're married to this white lady. That's what our spirit does because of all that trauma. And we do not want to deal with it. This is simple psychology. It's not like rocket science. We don't want to deal with it as a people. We have individuals who have dealt with it and who have went through it, and we up here talking. But when we say, y'all, we need to come up out of this, everybody goes into that shame feeling
Yep.
on with us as a people. For real, for real. We could talk about it, but I'm not here for that. Fuck y'all therapy, nigga. You know what's going on. What the fuck is we gonna do about it? That's how I feel, but I understand us. But fuck your soft ass trauma informed shit, bro. Somebody gotta tell us you need to get a foot up in your ass and let's go. Like, what the fuck? Or go get some therapy, then come back and talk to me. But when you go to therapy, talk about your black problem, man. Don't go up there talking about some kitty ass, oh, I need to be trauma informed. I want to know about the intersectionalities and I want to know how to talk to trans people. No, you need to learn how to deal with your black problem. God damn it.
Yo,
Now I'm
yo,
going to go on mute.
Umoja. Yo, Umoja. They call it mental health awareness. All that means is that you're aware of it. Doesn't mean you're actually doing anything about it.
Well, it is in the language. It is in the language. Let's just talk about it.
Yeah. Let's
You on
have
the
a conversation about race. What are you saying, Joe?
you on the plantation and somebody decides they gonna start a rebellion today, and you there talking about you ain't gonna do nothing. You gonna sit this one out because you got beef with that dude that started the rebellion. He don't like you. That's how they sound. It ain't about them folks over there. You were supposed to be fighting already anyways. You don't decide to stop and not do nothing because you don't like the person that's fighting against the same enemy that you've been having, unless you just wasn't fighting anyway.
There
Hey,
you
hey,
go.
Joe.
Bingo.
Yeah, not only was you fighting, wait a minute. I didn't know white folks stopped. I didn't know that. I didn't know white supremacy stopped. You said we're gonna sit this one out. Wait a minute. So white supremacy's over? I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the call. Did anybody get the announcement?
No, we
Hmm.
still
No,
we still waiting. We still waiting for it because remember, they came after everybody else, and we the last ones they gonna come after. So they haven't come after us yet.
and, and here's what it is, Jabari. Here's what it is, Jabari. Um, According to the FBA guys, oh, everyone else is allied with white supremacy. It's only us that have been fighting it.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting. That's like the
So
guy
his
in prison with his shirt twirled up and Daisy Dukes on, talking about he's fighting.
yeah, so history only happened to African Americans, huh?
Right. Yeah, it's like everyone down from the Asian, the Hispanic, the Arabs, even some of the Africans, they're on too much white supremacy. They're trying to like they're the ones who are trying to get over us.
If you see your enemy, your opponent is in jeopardy, is in some kind of trouble, he's got some heat on him or whatever, something's happening, and you decide at that point, if you're really a person that fights, you decide at that point you're gonna stop. For you, it really isn't about winning anything. It must just be about the struggle. That must just be what it's about. Like you define yourself by that struggle. And if that struggle was to somehow end, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself.
And they think they're doing it for self-preservation reasons. It's actually the opposite of self-preservation, because sitting this one out, quote unquote, and letting everything unfold is basically setting yourself up to be destroyed. Because even
Yep.
somebody who has gripes or beef with somebody understands the idea of precedent and understand what is being set. If I allow this, if I allow this to keep happening, it's gonna come back to me. So it'd probably be best for me to nip this in the butt now before it comes to me, and there ain't nothing I can do. But they ain't thinking that way. They think they're thinking about self-preservation. They're preserving their mental health. But nah, they're not.
They call it delineation.
You're in a boxing match. You getting your ass whooped by this dude. All of a sudden, he start backing off, like stumbling, like, oh man, something wrong with him or whatever. He got a tummy ache, the worst tummy ache that anybody ever done had. And you decide at that point, I'm gonna take this one out. I ain't gonna help that tummy ache. You know what I'm saying? You know what tummy ache done to me and my people? Tummy ache ain't got no love for me. And what do you think's gonna happen once that dude that was whooping your ass finally get over that tummy ache? That's the best time to hop on him.
Yo, can I read something to y'all and y'all tell me where this came from? You probably know. Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? It was a disaster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost. Some believe we lack the programming language to describe your perfect world. But I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through suffering and misery.
Yep.
The perfect world was a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from,
Mm.
which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization. Sound familiar?
Yep.
This is why I don't. This everybody talks about victim mentality, but I don't think they really understand what they're talking about and how pervasive that mentality is. Even the people who say it, they don't think that they're using that same mentality. They think that they're immune from it.
How that the terminology is even wrong, to be honest with you. Usually, a victim mentality it is when you cry over somebody rightfully retaliating, rightfully responding to them attacking you, basically. They don't even say it right.
They're trying to sell an ideology. Because this is, I guess this must be, it's a lot of people that's jealous of victims. They want to be victims too. That's why they get offended when somebody is an actual victim. Because they are actual victims. I mean, we can agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Aren't there people that have done wrong? But if you can pretend that you've been done wrong, or fake like you've been done wrong, or overemphasize how you've been done wrong, then you can play the victim too. You know, like the angry white man. I've heard people say that the white man in America is the most oppressed person in this country.
It's not just penis envy; it's victim envy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm a victim too. I'm a white man. I can't say nothing. Oh, really? When did that happen?
Right. look at all the benefits that people of color are getting.
You know, to go along with that matrix, I've always said that for a lot of other people in this world, their motto as a race basically is death before dishonor. But for them other folks, it's pretty much anything but death. It reminds me of when the architect said there are levels of what did he say? There,
The Bible.
the Bible.
Yeah, there are levels of oh no, existence. There are levels of existence or survival. I forget which one that we're
Yeah,
prepared to deal with.
that we're prepared to accept. Yeah, that's it.
Hold
And
on.
that's her.
It's Thomas.
Yo,
Yes, this is good. One thing I want to present a slightly different paradigm on a couple of things. One, so when we talk about, for instance, One United Bank, right? At the end of the day, they're for profit enterprise. They're not a not for profit. What do they do that's exceptional that should make us want to be serviced by them, other than them being black owned? Because there's
that's
always got
it.
to be a why. No, no, no. There's got to be a why. So, for instance, right, they've been around for 43 years, right? Why are they offering them the absolute lowest interest rates for money that's put in their bank accounts? Why do they get consistent complaints? I mean, every bank has complaints, but the amount of complaints, and you can't just say, well, it's because it's got a black face on it. Why hasn't Ariel Investments, the largest mutual fund company that's black owned, that controls 13.8 billion in assets, acquired them? Like how other institutions and other, will do, so that way they can have some synergy. There's a value proposition that's missing. Now, what I'll say is that from working in banking, what you see, for instance, with the Latino banks and the credit unions and with the Asians, they do have that cultural cohesiveness that we don't tend to have, but they also provide slightly better value. So the question is, why hasn't One United Bank try to offer us more value? It's kind of like saying, well, hell, let's just go there and park our money, and they're not going to get a return on it. I mean, for instance, one of the accounts I have, for instance, for business, they're still offering like 3.8% on a savings, whereas like One United, you're getting 1.2 on a month on a CD. So you got to park your money for 12 months to get 1.2%. Like, why aren't they finding ways to be proactive to earn? And you can't say, oh, well, they don't have the resources. They have the resources. It's the question is, what are they doing to use technology to leverage the resources that they have to have a better proposition, other than just saying, hey, we're black owned? Because that's really where we're at right now. It's like people have gotten past the point of like just going someplace just because it's black owned. Now, part of the challenge also, for instance, like, look at supermarket industry, right? It would be great if we had like black owned supermarkets and to help service like what we consider food deserts, right? But here's the challenge, right? It's a distribution challenge, right? In terms of like the factors of production. There's certain players in the game that have certain level of resources that they get better pricing, that because they actually even tell you, it's not just a white or black, and they actually just had this on CNBC. I like, you know one company gets a wholesale price that's inferior to what like a Walmart or Target gets because of their pricing power, right? So there's efficiencies of scale. There's different things that play that prevent us from embarking in certain markets, right? But like, just talk about just particularly One United Bank. Like, what are they doing to try to show that they're using technology, using their resources to earn our our dollars? because it's just not good enough. People just aren't selling for that. The people who have access to resources, okay, like you said, you put like a couple of dollars in there just to show support. But what are they doing to say, hey, what program we have to show, like, for instance, like I give you like Rocket Mortgage came up with a 1% down mortgage, right? I mean, what are they doing? That's kind of where I'm going at with it. It's just not good enough. People just, as far as was money concerned, because that's different.
I
People want to know.
actually agree with you. The only thing that I would add is I don't think it makes a difference. And let me explain what I mean by that. Um, I don't think you're going to get a black bank that's better than Chase. I think Chase is objectively better than any black bank we could start. So then the question is, why should we start a black bank?
It's not even about being necessarily better. It's just being competitive. It's kind of like the saying
But
goes, you don't have
but
to
see,
be the first one. If a bear's chasing, you don't have to be the first one. You just have to be not the last one.
no,
You know what I mean?
I understand where you're coming from because I think you're trying to take how you look at it and stretch it across the spectrum. I don't think that the issue with black banks not being supported is, well, look at their interest rate. I don't think people I really don't think they care. They have no interest in supporting their own. None. They just think that white man, like as I said it before, the white man got this. His ice is colder, his water is wetter. They feel more confident in his ability to run things than they do in themselves. At the end of the day. And I'm talking about the average black person,
Well,
not
you
Let me
us.
talk.
just
Okay, so you're talking. What you're talking about? You say the average black person. Let's take away the people who are at the top end economically in terms of like income, assets like that. So let's talk about
Mhm.
people who live in like lower income, like where we grew up. Like you grew up near Brownsville, you see, and I grew up in the
Right.
South Bronx, right? Like those people are still going fucking check cashing places. Who the fuck is going?
Yeah.
I got a friend who works. You ready for this? He works for corrections, right? This motherfucker still be going to the check cashing place.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're
What
talking about.
what the fuck? So you signing up for the abuse? You signing up? Get your ass paddled with an AKA paddle? Are you fucking kidding me? You know how much they charge you at the check cashing place?
Yep.
And this and they
Like, why are you going to you going to a check cashing place and you don't have a bank account?
you
And like
you
I know exactly what you're talking
you know,
about.
you might also bend over and get like a rope and have a boot just tugging, just kicking you in your ass every day for that shit. Like it's crazy, but but what I'm saying is like for instance, like I've done the whole experiment like where like I've had like for instance, I had a black female attorney, black female dentist, black female doctor. Cause oddly enough, in certain things like you'll see some like black mechanics and stuff like that. But at one point, I would say like most of the professionals, it's easier here. Like in a place like Charlotte, because it's a banking city, so there's a lot of black professionals here.
Hmm.
And so I've had like I've done business with. I had a black physical therapist. So I've had like the whole, it's just that in certain arenas, like I say in personal services, you'll find it a little bit easier. But like the large institutional side of things, I think it's a challenge because like they're not, like I said, One United Bank, they don't really. If I was looking at it from the standpoint of if I'm wanting to earn people a business, you need to come up with, because in business you got product, price, and service, right? So you can usually be in two or three areas. So maybe they come up with a product and the service is great. Maybe the price is not the best, but if you
Hmm.
can excel in those two areas, maybe because first, like I said, a 1% down mortgage, because 100% financing is very limited, right? There's only a couple places you can really get 100%, true 100% financing, right? Like NACA, if you're a veteran, USDA loans, right? And then everything else is some form of like down payment assistance and stuff like that. But that's something that they could tackle, but they've chosen not to tackle it because of what potential default rates, stuff like that. But how, how do you use technology to leverage it in such a way where you can alleviate that because there are models that, for instance, there's people right now that live in the projects, right? That have never been late on rent in their life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Would you agree with that? There's
Yeah.
people that you know that they've never been late on their rent, and if you gave them the
Yep.
opportunity to own a home, so why not use your resources and then combine with what other foundations and stuff like that are out there. And like I said, it's in pockets. I think it has something to do with how dispersed we are geographically in certain areas. And then if you look at, like I said, look at aerial investments. $13.8 billion is not a small sum of money. The fact that they've got mutual funds and they're not, and here's the thing, aerial investments is underperforming the S&P 500 for the 10 year. They got one or two funds that have outperformed like 10.8%, which is actually decent because the historical average is like 7.5%, right? So they do have some funds, and they're not like crazy loads on them and stuff like that. But the fact that they've actually been able to be in business for over 40 years, and you don't really hear a lot complaints about them. So there are certain pockets where we are able to excel in, but I think like this wholesale, like like everybody just get on board. I think it has more to do with geographic dispersion, which you see, like I said, here in the Charlotte area, and I would say Durham, which was the home of the original Black Wall Street, you do see a little bit more of black businesses being supported. But I think like if you get once you get away from like the South and places like that, like there are a little bit more barriers to entry. But if One United Bank would, I think, take the initiative to innovate on a product front and then commit to service more. Because, like I said, regardless if you like it or not, like I said, all banks are going to have complaints, but they need to refine some things in order to get more support because they've been stagnant at
I
750 million.
Thomas, I agree with you 1,000% because I've been feeling like me and Umoja been promoting them more than they promote themselves. A lot of people don't even know about them.
Well, I
Like
tell you what I
I've
did.
been
I've called
wondering.
them. I've called them on multiple occasions just to kind of get a feel for
Mhm.
them and see where they're at. Like, for instance, I'm gonna tell you who actually, as far as black banks, I actually was I'm set up for an appointment because there's some small business thing I was supposed to be going to. The Mechanics Bank in North Carolina. They're a black owned bank. I've
Mhm.
heard really good things about them. I've seen some online reviews, but like from the interviews, it's like that. But of course, they're in North Carolina. But like when United, like I called in and I just got the feel like, it was like, man, if you do it, you do it. If you don't, it was like they weren't. You ask them
Yeah.
questions, like kind of, I don't know, maybe here, like, no, I'm good.
Y'all ever
Yeah.
been inside their office?
Huh?
You ever been inside their office?
No, because there's no locations here where I'm at. And I'm
Like
not trying.
if you get a chance, try it. It's almost like you're in like a time capsule.
That's what sounds like a bad thing. Like, we looking
Oh,
back to like
you've been to the one
1985.
in Florida? You've
I
been
did.
to the one in
I
Florida?
yeah. I've been to several times because
Mhm.
that's was like right by where my job used to be. I drove by. I never went inside the one in Boston, but I did drive by there like at least twice when I was over there.
Mhm.
But like you see security cameras from like the '90s.
Hold on a second. Not the big ones.
Yo, man. My philosophy has always been hostile takeover.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from because I don't trust that the people because if the people that's there are actually doing or were doing what they're supposed to be doing, then we wouldn't have to do what we're doing.
Like, I
So,
mean, let me give you an example. Like what I'm talking about in terms of innovation. Hold like, okay, so back in 2023, the Federal Reserve started the Fed Now program, which allows real time payments. So basically, like it would eliminate the need for like your cash apps of the world, your Zelle and all that stuff, right? They actually have the ability, if they wanted to introduce that as a product to their customers, they can introduce that as a cut to basically it'd be instant money transfer, and it doesn't cost. And here's the thing about it, it's actually less costly because
Right.
they're already integrated to the Federal Reserve infrastructure. But they're not doing it. Why? It's been around 2 years now.
Yep.
That,
Why
I mean,
haven't they done? Why haven't they done a Super Bowl commercial?
oh, that shit's expensive. That Super
No,
Bowl commercial.
I know it's expensive, but they can afford it.
I don't know. I mean, for 30 seconds, it's like $6 million now.
They can afford it,
Yeah,
and
I
and
don't know.
and and, and it would pay off so good for them, because a lot of people
Or
just
radio
don't know.
ads.
A lot of
Radio
people
ads.
just don't know about them. But that all comes down to the marketing promotion people, the management, all of that. The people that's involved now. I don't want to shit on anybody, but the truth is the truth.
I'll be honest with you. $6 million for 30 seconds is a stretch. Like that. Because because if you look at their asset base of $756 million, they're not the most profitable. Like like for banks, like like for instance, like in the case of let's look at like like something on the extreme side of Chase. They are a shit ton. I mean, they lost $2 billion from a
Oh,
trade.
isn't Chase the largest?
It's the largest, yeah. And then
Yeah,
like right
Chase
after
is.
them is Bank of America, like
Aren't they like a trillion something?
oh yeah, they're over trillion. Well, they got like in assets like over 4 trillion in assets.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. It's like, and Chase is, my bank. My main bank is Chase,
Yeah, I mean they got
because, and I've never had a problem. Chase is so rich that if you ever have a dispute,
oh
they
it's
credit your account
instantly
immediately.
immediately.
Like, all you gotta do is say, "Yo, they didn't pay." Like, next thing you know, that credit is right on your account. They don't play.
Yeah, but they're honest about here's the difference between them and Bank of America. They're honest about who they are. I'm gonna tell you how gangster credit Chase is. Right, I had a credit card with them that was a 0% offer for like 12 months. When they got to month 11, right? You know what they had the Mendasi send me in the mail?
What?
They said, yo, to keep your account profitable, your default interest rate shall return. not so we can service you better, not so we can provide excellent service to other customers. No, to keep your account profitable, this 0% we got you on is going away, motherfucker. Like they let you know, or like the difference between the customers they go after. So whereas Bank of America marketed to, okay, we're gonna make this a bank for everyone. Chase said, now we want people with money. Fuck all that. It's the difference between you talking to a chick and be like, yo, you're a beautiful queen, be like, yo, what that mouth do, bitch? Like that's the difference. That's what they want. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm dead ass. I mean, they just really focusing on
yeah.
who their
It
customers.
has
So,
served them well.
all right. So by that same account, right? In the case of One United Bank, one of the challenges that they probably have, and like I said, I just know from working in banking, right? That small accounts require a lot more maintenance. People don't realize it. So when you got a large account, right? People, let's say, who have an average balance, daily balance of like say $3,000 to $5,000, right? You don't have as many disputes because they're in control of their finances, right?
Right.
Like they're not calling in and be like, "Yo, my debit card declined at Popeyes." You're not getting that shit. They know where their money's at, right? Whereas if you get some of these motherfuckers that running on E, where they still trying to play the float game with checks that doesn't work anymore. They wrote a check, right? Like you ever seen Everybody Hates Chris, and she talks about how she keeps the household going because she pays the light bill partially, and then she sends a check and post dates. So you can't do that shit no more. So
Yeah.
they probably struggle with the fact that they're dealing with people.
Hello?
He went out for me too.
Oh, Thomas, I don't know what happened. But I think Thomas is being too nice. Really. I mean, I don't want to dog because I don't want to, I'm reluctant to really go in on them because I do think they need to be supported, but let's keep it real. A lot of people that's there now need to go
Mm-hmm.
because I chalk it up to incompetence. But the only way you can really have a stake in anything, like if a celebrity or entertainer or an actor puts in or opens up an account with One United, they will have way more leverage in terms of getting them to do certain things. They'll listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I encourage like people need to start putting their celebrities and entertainers under pressure. It's like, yo, what's up with the black bank? How come you ain't got your money in the black bank? Because at the end of the day, you can't not support them and then expect them to be good.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
They got an interest rate problem, and so do black folks.
Yeah, exactly. But yo, we done went like 45 minutes over what I intended, so I'm gonna get off of here because I want to get me something to eat. But as usual, it's been real. Time flies when you're having conversation with intelligent people. So thank you all.
Happy Father's Day to everyone, and the happy Zaddy's Days to all the FBAs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Zaddy's Day to the white man, and I hope everybody else enjoys their socks and ties.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let y'all later.
Peace.
I'll
Peace.
see.
Yeah.